Hello everyone, welcome back to Ultimate League as we find ourselves in the penultimate round of Season 20, and today we find ourselves here at the Brazilian Grand Prix at the Novo Plano circuit. So as we have a look here into the standings, it is then Chargete is still leading the way, of course, as he still had like the worst result of the season in the previous race, but he still managed to obviously still keep a very good gap, and yeah, obviously was fighting to try and secure the title in the previous round, but instead he ended up losing points to Hernandi. But now it is a matter of not losing more points to Hernandi, because the gap now is 42 points, and as long as he keeps the 32 points gap to Hernandi, so if he doesn't lose more than 10 points, he should be fine, and it's going to be then becoming a two-time world champion today. Then Fatmi is going to be missing today's race, but I think his third place in the championship seems to be settled here, and that will definitely settle the battle for second place as well. That we see here Johnny Fu with his first ever podium, then in P4, followed in by Mati Maris and every single race here in P5, and then yeah, Corvid lost quite a lot of points in the previous race as he had to DNF, and then you see here F1 Fan, who I think people should watch out because he looked pretty fast in CL today. And yeah, then you see here Figueira currently on a win streak as well, pole position streak as well here, and let's see if he can keep it going or not. And then here in the constructors, we see here obviously LSA still leading the way. Not much really changed amongst the top three. They all gained a very similar amount of points here. You see LSA 42, SCPD 41, and then one time 40 points. And you got Ricardo Alto just getting a little bit closer to Flow Force, but I'm not sure if they really have a chance to catch them. As I see also Lynx Racing, they did got a bit of a points boost with Kubo in the previous round. Now they got 77 points, and yeah, then you see here FGR and then Mayhem Racing separated by 10 points. Now, if we then have a look into the track today, we see here then this is the Novo Plano circuit. I believe it's a fictional circuit and made by Guzman, and obviously it's situated in Brazil. As you see here, there's quite a few chicanes, and yeah, it is also a very long track, although a lot of the turns are sort of fast, at least at the ends. But yeah, it's this sort of 90-degree turns that seems to be very predominant in this circuit. But there are a few sort of large hairpins as well, as you can see, but I think it's 90-degree turns. There are the most common turn here, but yeah, I think that probably the hard tires will be the tires to go, but maybe at the start though we might see more soft tires, as there are some fast parts where you can definitely feel the difference in the pace within each tire compound. Okay, now we'll have a look into the starting drivers. This list is not exactly complete, but yeah, for one time we can expect to see Flix and Figueira Racing. Then SCP should also have Chargete and Johnny Fu. Then for LSA though, we got Fatmi missing now today's race with then Hernandi racing alongside Sedge today, who dominated in JL actually and did pretty well there. Although for CL things didn't exactly went the same, but let's see what can we do here now driving for the biggest team in UL history. Then Flow Force, I think we should see Corbett and the F1 Fan Racing. Then FCR, we should see Hobart, and probably gonna have Glow also driving for the Canadian team. I think Mayhem Racing, I don't know, I think Bana is probably not looking to race Skibidi though, he hasn't been seen yet, so I don't know who will be racing for Mayhem. And then RMC, we should have probably just Kiato, and I don't know exactly who else could drive, maybe Kader. Then for Vicar Alto, we should see Matimar driving alongside Bituka, who's going to be coming back. And then for Lynx Racing, we got then Guziman and then Shuruni. So let's then have a look into the qualifying session. Alright then, so here we go then, we find ourselves then in qualifying. I'm now joined by Phantomy. Hello Phantomy.
Hello,
Yeah, I'm doing well. But yeah, this should be interesting then. Figo looks to be at the back, so it's gonna be hard to tell whether he's gonna be doing well or not. But we see here Johnny Fu at the front with JT right now, but there's Johnny Fu Is it just me or is it just getting faster and faster throughout this season? Boo, but he gets a bit of a mistake there. I think JT though should be the one on that provisional poll unless Figo can do something better because yeah, he's pretty right at the back here. So yeah, this will be interesting. Yeah, just see then JT right now looking for provisional poll and it is then 41.35. Let's see Figo 41.82 P4. But yeah, then we see Hernandez second, Corvid in third. And yeah, there is Corvid really, he was feeling confident right before the race, just doing very fast laps it seems. So yeah, he could be on for a very good qualifying. Once in a while, that's what he can do sometimes, really just put himself maybe in the top 3. But we see that now the drivers are about to finish this second lap here. I don't think Nandi will be on for a good lap here. But let's see, the RGT improves Krustanet into second place, but Corvid will take it instead. Then we got Nandi P4, now Figo jumps towards the front. And that could be his third pole in a row. So yeah, that is interesting. You see then, yeah, Johnny is full.
We have the comeback of the NS in the front, season 18, but this time it's one time Figo and Flix, and Flix is down in P9.
Yeah, in the meantime, looking at the final lap, looks like GT is probably not going to be improving because Corvid is now ahead of him. As we see then on the final straight here, could Corvid improve? And he can, no, he cannot. And GT does not improve, so Figo will take pole position. And he improves, I think, just a little bit right at the end. So here we go then, Figueira with his third pole position in a row will then start at the front with JT, then starting alongside. Then we see here Corvid in third place, just ahead of Krustanet, who's returning here for FCR. Then you got Flix in P5 ahead of Fernandi, followed by Johnny Ford and Guzzi Man here in P8 for Lynx Racing. Then you got Tiato who's tied with him here in P9, followed by B2 closing the top 10. Then we see Suroni starting P11 with F1 Fan, then you got Chloe in P13. Then you have here Setch now driving for LSA, then you got Matimar ahead of Starlight, and then Nikhil running up the grid here. And here we go then, Figueira then at the front, looking to maybe take the mediums. We see GT starting on the soft snow, he changes to the mediums, and here we go then, it is go. In Brazil we got Figo, then Krustanet already trying to pass Corvid, who's just not having a good start here. That is not great, he has huge ping, so he might just be getting pushed around by a lot of drivers, as we see Gnandi, who definitely did not have a good qualifying now. He's down quite a few positions. And also starting on the soft tires, we see Figo leading the way. We got Flix also trying to just find himself at the front. We got Krustanet in third place. Oh boy, that could be interesting. Could be a potential podium here. As we see him then third. And then Hernandi here right behind. You see the pack already starting to just spread out here. All going in single file. GT just wants to stick it behind Figo, but now he has a problem right behind him. Flix is right here. Then in third place, Corvid now in P4. We got then Krustanet then on the mediums. And then we see Gironi followed by following his teammate for this race, Guzzi Man. And as we see here, yeah, then you got Johnny Fu also. He got his first podium in the previous race. That was quite a big fight. Here we see Krustanet ending up on the grass there. That is obviously not great to see. F1 Fan who dominated in CL now. Things not looking exactly as great here. But yeah, then we see here then Nikhil there at the back. But yeah, GT Figo then in the first two positions. Looks like Flix has dropped down to P5. As we see now Johnny Fu battling the Lynx Racings here. We've got Johnny then up things. Ooh, as you see then now Hnadi then up to third place. Flix still here, P5, but yeah, Hnadi though, with a nice recovery here. He didn't exactly started all that well. But now he has the softs. Could give him some hope of catching Figo and JT, but let's see about that. But yeah, JT just wants to stick it behind Figo right now, and yeah, see what can we do. But it's gonna be interesting though when they will beat because ooh, Corby, that doesn't look great. But yeah, then you got Guzi, Johnny Fu, Juroni. Yeah, the grid is just sort of spreading out here. We also got Setch versus Starlight battle. Yeah, Kyato looking a little bit flat at the back there. Ooh, Quarter and Flix here, side by side.
No, Flix must not be having a good time right now because from a driver's perspective, just passing COVID is just a nightmare of a task. Because once you pass him on your screen, you have to pass him on his screen, so it's just double the amount of work, and Felix just ends up in the grass here.
Yeah, it's definitely really hard, and but as we see at the front, nothing really changing. Nagi just seems to be alone in third place. But yeah, now we see it's four drivers sneaking it behind Corvid. As we see, looks like Krustanet was quite far at the front now. I don't know what happened. Yeah, looks like he's just falling down. But yeah, we got Zuroni then. Martimar now ended up on the grass. He's just chaos in this midfield. As we have Zuroni, Bituku, Martimar, F1 Fanglow. As we see a few drivers. Yeah, a few drivers going in for the pits. So we got Hanandi, Corvid, Kuziman, and Starlight is DNFing. So first DNF here for the RMC. And yeah, so Figo and GT they stayed out here. Obviously they are on the mediums. A lot of the drivers who pitted were on the softs. Matimar though still stayed out. But yeah, now we see here the chaos as the drivers who have pitted now trying to pass the drivers who have not pitted. And that could have a huge effect in this race as we see now. Flix, Johnny Fu, Wolf staying out here. Looks like the mediums they can maybe go, I think 7 laps probably. Well, the hards should be around, or maybe 8. Yeah, then the hards probably 9, 10. Depends a lot on the driver, I would say. So as we see here, yeah, nothing really changing at the front. Flix and Johnny Fu also they stayed out and they are already 5 seconds behind the leaders. And then you got here Hernandi now having to pass F1 Fan. Who's gonna let him pass or not? He will. Let's see here.
He was around 3 seconds back, and he's nowhere to be seen from Figo. He's just really far away. He does exit in third place, so that's a podium spot. But behind he's gonna have Guzman P4, surprisingly. He's doing a really great return this time.
Yeah, looking for a very good race here, that is for sure. We got him now battling Flix, but Flix though has much better tires. Same with Johnny Fu. We're just pitted. Here's this. Oh, we're hit again. It's very complicated with Corvid because he likes for the pits and then he kind of just fine for a long time and then it's again and he teleports again and it's yeah, I really hate making decisions like this. But yeah, we see then here Juroni and Pituco. As you still cross that with little mistake there, F1 Fan and Matimar, they are right behind him. Right, this at the front, I think GT just taken the lead. So maybe he has started to battle. Or maybe Figo made a little mistake. But GT definitely wants to win this time around. This is a huge rivalry that we saw in, for instance, season 18. That was probably the peak of it as they were battling for the title. But as we see here now, Figo trying to get up things side there. And I think he's going to take back the lead, or maybe not, as we see JT. I think he took some of that grass, and yeah, that slowed him down. So Figo takes back the lead. And then we will see then Hernandi going to try to hold on for that third place, as we see Flix and Guzi, or at least Flix on better tires, trying to catch Hernandi while Guzi was just trying to stick on that slipstream. And then we see this is allowing him to at least stay ahead of someone like Johnny Fu, which is definitely quite good. And then we see Bituko not doing bad here, creating P9, just staying behind Juroni for now. Krusternet has climbed up back to P10, so maybe that undercut did work well for him. And yeah, then we see Kiato. Kiato probably not looking all that great, to be honest. As we see then here, Setch. This could have some huge constructor title implications. As we see, looks like GT is quite far at the front here. I don't know what happened between him and Figo, but GT has got some distance. And yeah, he's really just looking for that revenge, but I think Figo is still on that slipstream, so this is definitely not over yet. Not sure if there's anything you've seen right now. Looks like Jordan in B2 are.
So, yeah. They are having quite a fight, but yeah, as you were saying, the Seksh being in P15 could have some troubles for LSA, the constructor wise, as I think SCP is only 20 points behind, and with the win maybe of Charge 80, who is right now looking to get at least a P2, definitely it's gonna change things up, and we're gonna have an interesting race in Monaco as well.
Yeah, we see looks like GT and Figo, they have started to battle with each other. We see them just trying to make some overtakes once in a while, but yeah, they're still sticking together still. So, but I think this is sort of allowing for someone like Nani to just stay close with them, even though it doesn't exactly matter. As if there was some rain, though, things would change quite a lot. But on a dry race, 4 seconds, you still need to catch them. So yeah, we see here we got a few pairs. Basically, we got the pair of GT and Figo. Then we got the pair of Corvid and Johnny Fu. Then we see F1 Fan with Tsuruni. And then there's also Setch and Kiato at the back. Yeah, Corvid looks a little bit sketchy. We got Johnny Fu just trying to find a way past potentially. But yeah, they're all very spread out, and yeah, as you said, this is definitely a huge skill gap type of track. Yeah, it's a very, very big one. We see then Juroni pitting. He's on the mediums. He's going to change to another set of mediums.
So it's the kind of track. The moment you start to struggle in a corner, you're just gonna struggle for the whole race. And those small time loss are they're gonna add up the whole race, and at some point you're just gonna end up 4 or 5 seconds behind the guy ahead of you just because you struggle to take a corner. So with so many corners on this track who had to be taken so precisely, it's no big surprise that we see those gaps to like P2 to P3 or even 10 to 11. We just see those big gaps everywhere.
Yes, we see them here. Johnny Food's still behind Corvid, and at the front here, GT now looks like he took the lead. And they do battle, maybe not as hard as they used to before, but still we see them going some back and forth. We see Nani with a little mistake. Flix is getting closer and closer, but I'm pretty sure that this thing seems to be about to end. I think Nani is probably going to pit now for hard tires, and then probably pit again later on for the hards. As we see Figo. Figo pitting. And the GT is taking a risk here. It is a very big track, so undercuts will be strong, but then he's gonna have the advantage later on if he can then take good use of their advantage, as we see. But yeah, Figo now will have full clean air. Ready as well.
He's already ahead of his teammate. Wow.
Yeah, so
even like battling, just those two drivers are just in another league. That is honestly impressive. And kind of frustrating to drive against, I can't lie.
So it's GT staying out. I wonder what the hell what is GT thinking about here? Because yeah, he's really
praying for the Starbucks.
Maybe, but it's kind of useless because Figo is alone. And so, yeah, I don't think Figo would be getting slowed down by any server lags, but yeah, but he also needs to be careful because it's not just Figo, but then Hernandi, like, if he's too careless, then even Hernandi could be very, very close to him, and it obviously would not be great for him, like, trying to chase. One thing I can say that chasing down someone while having another driver behind you, it's a bit of a nightmare, as we see now GT Then finally beating Figo will definitely be ahead now. But now the main question is, how will the gap be now? As you see, maybe 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Only two.
Yeah, so 2 seconds. I guess what GT wants is to take the mediums on the final stint. That could be a possibility. Or maybe he's gonna take. But yeah, he's gonna have the tire advantage. Maybe he feels confident in his pace this time around against Figo. But yeah, obviously things just didn't went well for him in the last two races. Figo ended up getting away while GT had always some sort of traffic. And yeah, so while Figo could just get away in the race, JT kind of just had to fight really hard. But now this time around, he managed to get away with Figo, so they can have a proper 1v1 battle, just like in the old times, let's say. As we got here, then Gironi battling across the net. As let's see, he's picked up only mediums so far. But now is he going for the mediums again?
I think we have to give credits to Gaziman, as he's first of all the track maker, so he's done an amazing job on that, and he's hunting a personal best right now, as his best is P6, which was in Carpenter all the way back in season 18, was also one of his tracks, and now he's looking to get the top 5.
Yeah, and seems like he can definitely take advantage of racing on his own tracks. That's not usually always the case. Like Hanandi, for instance, is I'd say a good example. But Guzi, though, yeah, they seem to excel here, and yeah, could be fighting definitely for this P5 right now. The obstacles will be someone like Corvid or Jonifu, as we see the Nikhil then retiring. So that's another DNF here in this race. And they might be looking to finish only P9 in the constructors this time around, which is great for me. It's not FGR this time, so. But yeah, we see here then got Kurstanet and Bituko, two Spanish drivers close to each other. And then just ahead it's Matimar, Jureni now pitting. Seems like Jureni is doing a different strategy compared to other drivers, as he's just picking the mediums, but later on though they need to pick a different tire. And I'm kind of hoping that Kurstanet doesn't forget about that. But yeah, we see them. Yeah, as we see there now, Corvi looks like he's ahead of Kuzi. They both have essentially the same tire. They pitted at the same time, and it's the same thing with Jonifu. But F1 Fan though, he has slightly better tires, and the main thing is that he was very dominant in CL, so probably looking for something better here this time around in UL. That is looking just to be right behind the most recent podium sitter. And then at the front though, GT is definitely get a little bit closer to Figo, as you see, but yeah, the tire difference is definitely quite big here. Like just it's 2 laps, but it's 2 big laps, so it is quite a lot.
That is a long track, over 40 seconds. So definitely, like an undercut on an overcut, they definitely have huge differences, and I think Figo just made a slight mistake.
Yeah, I've seen here looks like GT has gained 2/10 on Figo in the previous lap, which I would expect it to be more considering the tire difference. So yeah, maybe GT is gonna have to consider this strategy here. Maybe just try to pit at the same time as Figo, stick with that slipstream rather than make this pace battle. As yeah, now we see a freeway battle then, Guzi, Corvid and Johnny Fu, but also I think Gironi and the Ricards are probably more likely to battle each other, as we see them here, and or maybe not.
And Gironi just racing, just not for his team, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know how do things work, but yeah, as we see Corvid still with Guzi and Johnny Fu right behind. But yeah, there's not much really happening here. Like it's the drivers just on their race pretty much. Although Saku, yeah, Flix. Look at Flix though. Flix could be catching Nutty for that third place. Corvi.
That's huge TP and just went off the track here.
Oh,
We have to keep an eye on that.
yeah.
As you were saying, it's just sometimes he lags a lot, then he stops, and he lags again. So that's tricky to make decisions on it.
In the meantime, I saw JT gain another 3/10 on Figo.
Yeah.
It's getting very close to him, as we see here.
Okay,
But
they're
yeah,
doing the
Figo.
same VC, so it might be heating up.
Yeah, as we see, then JT is trying to catch that slipstream. But as we see, though, probably JT could have.
Behind. Flix is catching an Andy or not.
Yeah, there's also another battle here. As we see, yeah, Corby just staying ahead of Guzzi and Johnny Fu. They all have dead tires. Figure, yeah, picks again. So let's see. So they essentially went back to the status quo, like, or back to where they were before. As yeah, now GT. Let's see if he's gonna let Figo just.
Yeah, we are aware of that.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Maybe you can tell him, although
I let you be the judge of that.
Damn, it's complicated though. I fucking hate this. Cause yeah, then Corby is like doing the he's doing the race and like he's already like 2/3 or maybe a bit more than. Oh, but now it's looking bad.
Oh yeah, very bad. Yeah, but in the meantime, Flix is making the move on the outside of Hernandi. That's a really great move. Can he stick it into the hairpins? And still side by side.
Ooh, yeah,
He
Flix.
got chopped off by Hernandi.
Ooh, so.
And Joe in the pits, he's most likely gonna go for the mediums. Hard. Okay. He's making an eye, but Figo is really far away. That's a gigantic gap to close off.
Okay, so we see then Giordani to the pits again. Once again, he just seems to be doing a very different strategy compared to the others. Now, Kursanet,
Mediums
like,
again.
yeah, but Giordani, I think he went for hearts in the previous stint.
Okay, good then.
Not sure. We can see. We will see in the recording later on if he has done it or not. But I believe he did pit for the hearts because we see now Kursanet has done a very similar strategy to him. It's just that now they just sort of swapped the order, let's say, and then now he's on the hearts, looking to finish this race on those tires. Journey also looking to finish on those tires, but he does have better tires here, so these two should be fighting for the P9. We also should see maybe Guzzi. Yeah, maybe if Guzzi, if it doesn't get P5 because it's quite ahead, it could maybe be. Disqualified there. That might be a little bit frustrating, although he also has F1 fan behind, and also Johnny Fu is on a much better tire, so he could be the one winning this battle here at the back. But yeah, then we see here Nadi and Flix now on equal tires. Because so far Flix did have the advantage on the tires, so that was why he could just chase him down. But yeah, at the front though, we will have to see. Looks like yeah, GT did gain some time on Figo. Ooh, Figo with a bit of a mistake here. Yeah, but Figo made a bit of a mistake there. I'm not sure if there's this turn that now Hernandez and Flix are doing there. I'm not sure if they are supposed to cut or not, but yeah, GT didn't.
Stay really close to the curb but not cut it.
As we see right now, ooh, Figo did gain time on GT now. But this is not good for him. As you see, ooh, GT with the mistake. Now we see also a battle for third still. And yeah, these two can also just battle each other without any problems. They are also quite far ahead of the others. But as we see here, ooh, Hernandez just defending Flix around the outside. Now he's gonna have the inside here. As we see, oh my god. We see then Hernandez still.
And Flix did not change. He's still that much aggressive.
As we see, Also, let's see at the front. We need to compare the lap times between Figo and JT to see if we might see a battle for the win. As we see, ooh, very close lap times. But yeah, the difference is that Figo has much older tires. And yeah, GT again, I think on that turn 4 or 3, like he just touched the grass there. And I think he may have done another mistake. He felt like he was a little bit slow off the turn there. But yeah, this battle though for third place is also very interesting to watch as we see Flix now the one on the podium. I'm not sure when was the last time he was on the podium. It must have been a very long time actually. As last time he, as last time he raced, I think it was in that one Australian track. I cannot really say the name, but he was before there. But I don't remember the last time he got a podium finish. As we see, oh, he made a mistake though. He made a mistake. Now he takes third.
I cannot tell, maybe. Because I don't recall him on the podium in season 19.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, maybe it was in Jakarta his last podium. So
yeah, that was in season 8. Because yeah, I think in season 19 he wasn't really all that present. So yeah, I think that may have been his last podium in Jakarta. But yeah, at the front, I think this time around, yeah, he did gain a lot of time, but it's only 2 laps to go here. But this is the main thing though, if GT can actually catch Figo, then Figo might be in a lot of trouble due to the tire difference. That's the main thing. But GT though did make a huge risk and he might pay the price for this as well.
Yep.
So yeah.
And the gap to P3 is more than 11 seconds, wow.
Yes, I'd say the league nowadays does allow for skill to be more prevalent with the dry races and longer tracks. Oh, GT with a mistake here. I think, yeah, this will be it for the race. Because, yeah, he lost time now. It's 1 lap to go. I don't think GT can gain 1.5 seconds. So Figo, I think he's looking for the 3rd win in a row then. Maybe he's just looking to beat GT's record. Like, he's...
I mean, who can stop these guys, man? They were just destroying everyone. Yeah. One at a time. Just Figo gets 6 wins in a row, then it's Joe, then Figo gets another 3. Amazing job by those two. We can't take it off from them.
So yeah, there you go then, Figo. Here, looking to take the win at the Brazilian Grand Prix. GT will come in close, but just not close enough. Let's see who's going to take third though. We got Nandi and Flix now battling for that podium finish here. As we see, Nandi took, I think, 2nd in the previous race. See Flix here right behind. Can he do it? No, he ends up on the grass. So Hernani holds on for 3rd. Flix just close, but yeah, it's gonna be frustrating though. Harvey though gets to finish the race. And the F1 fan, look at him. P6, I think that is his best. Then Johnny Fu, one Guzi man. Then you got Chiruni, followed by Kruston at 10. Closes the top 10. And then you got then Matimar, followed by Bituko. And then you see here then Glow, Sech. And then in P14, then you got Kiato. And then it's the retirements, then Nikhil and Starlight Alice. Figo takes the maximum points, but I actually forgot about this. The world champion for this season has not been crowded today. It is then Charge GT with his 2nd world title, so huge congratulations for him. And yeah, it's definitely another amazing feat, an amazing season for him still. Like, let's not forget what he was doing for the first 6 races in this season. So yeah, let's it. Let's then get ourselves into the interviews very soon. Maybe Guzi Man actually. P8 today. Very close battle there with Johnny Fu. That was a photo finish there, and yeah, at some point it did seem like getting your personal best in terms of race results was very close there, as you were battling for that P5 against Cardi, Johnny Fu, F1 fan. So yeah, what can you say?
No, I'm very disappointed. This was a horrible race, I must say. And yeah, I don't know what you guys are seeing, but COVID TPing 15 times and nothing said. Very interesting there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I was every time just getting fucked by the teleports and making a few mistakes, letting F1 catch me, and then I lose F1 fan somehow, and then I lose to Johnny on ping across the line when I was like what a half a car ahead. Just horrible. So yeah, I'm very disappointed. That's why I don't race this league anymore.
Yeah. That said, still he did a, I think he still did a very good race here, and yeah, very solid performance there in the P8. And then next driver, we can go with there's only four F1 fan. I guess Cardavid, if he's here. Because yeah, this time he did actually got to finish the race, but yeah, he did teleported more towards like the end. It seems like at some point it was more constant. It's very hard to judge. Like you teleport just for a bit, then it's fine, and then it's like it's hard to. It's very hard to judge.
Yeah, it's
So
really strange. I had a lot of weird things happening at my house as well during the race, so I'm just thankful I was able to make it to the end. I got a little bit unlucky at the start, but that just tends to happen with ping and that. My pace overall was pretty good. I was able to get back to I was able to get back to fucking Guzzi after he ran away for a bit. At one point, Johnny, I think I put Johnny into the pits with me with the ping, and really bad situation. Uh, but yeah, overall, I think I was just fast enough when it mattered, thankfully, and the ping wasn't too bad on my side at least. But it was even on my side, I could see it was definitely really shaky.
all right then. So yeah, in the end, a solid P5 there. Also, the team did do pretty well. F1 Fan was quite fast this time around, P6 in the end. But yeah, so I guess we now go with Flix as a very tight fight there with Hernandi and yeah, not sure if we thought Hernandi was clean or not, but yeah, it was a very close fight and it was right at the end. So yeah, what can you say?
I mean, I kind of fumbled my quali. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like almost everyone fumbled their qualies, but I felt fast the race. But at the beginning, uh, I was trying to pass Corvid the entire time, but because of the ping, I couldn't really, and he pushed me off the track a few times. And then when I got away from everyone, I was just kind of in my own world. I felt faster than Nandi because I was gaining on him. When I caught him on the last, no, like before the last stint, then I thought to myself, I'm gonna just pit when he pits, so we can just have a fight. I did manage to lose him, but then I caught him again, so I feel like I was faster than him. But overtaking is so hard because, like on the straight, um, like every time I try to go inside, he just covers it off. So it's kind of like it's a hard track to overtake. But yeah, I mean it was a fun race. P4. I feel like I could have gotten P3 and even maybe I want to, but I feel like JT is still way like faster than me without like having the practice, and Figo is just in his own world. But yeah, I don't know.
All right then. So then we go with Hernandi. Yeah, Hernandi is here. And yeah, managed to just survive and keep that podium streak going on just a little bit longer, I guess. And yeah, no, also I guess nice fight there with Flakes playing that undercut game at the beginning, and then you guys went for the pits at the same time. So yeah,
Yeah. Holy shit. That was quite something. I mean, uh, crazy fight. Um, I I was hoping that I can like equal his pace, but I kind of knew that he was faster than me. Like during the week, he was beating me by like 6, 7 seconds, and gotta say, didn't feel like 6 or 7 seconds. I think I was closer to him, but he was still faster.
Só um
He forced me
bocadinho!
into the last stint, as he said. So I can only repeat him. And yeah, I was not able to run away when he made a mistake, so was a bit mad at myself. But in the end, I was ahead almost all the time, and that's basically what mattered because I was able to practice defending today a lot, and it really paid off. Then in the final lap, I had to dodge a few bullets, especially on the right side, but he kept it clean. Huge respect. I mean, didn't think I would make it, didn't think I would have the space, but I did somehow. And it was completely clean, I think, from what I saw. And yeah, really happy to have such fun fights.
Alright then, as now we will then move to the top two. We go then to now our brand new world champion Charge GT. Then and yeah, this started with the fairy tale. Then things started to get complicated here. But yeah, today second place could have definitely been a win. But yeah, I guess you went very risky there with the overcuts and just couldn't catch Figo.
Yeah, I accidentally went one lap longer than I meant to on the second pit stop. I don't know if that would have changed anything, but it was, I was quite frustrated honestly with myself. Like I went past the pits and I was like, oh bloody hell, I was meant to pit this lap. But it was calm the whole way through. I mean, I wasn't really feeling any stress because I mean, I don't need the win. It would be nice, but it's not required. So I was just driving in my own world and pretty fun. Yeah, just kept it quite consistent because that as well, and just good fun. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Right, nice to hear, and congrats for the title as well. Second world title today, and yeah, you guys may also gain a lot of points on LSA actually because of Setch P14 and Johnny Fools P7. But but yeah, do you feel like the constructor is still possible, or is it
I
just
don't know. I don't really follow it. I just I just drive and that just sorts itself out. Yeah. Oh, actually, we're pretty close, aren't we? So it is possible, I guess. But I mean, there's no pressure on it. We'll get it next season anyway. That's the dream for like the last 5 seasons. We'll get it next season. It's fine.
right then?
Yeah.
So that's it. Now we're gonna end then with the race winner today, Figo, third in a row. Tough battle with GT though this time around, and yeah, what can you say?
Yeah, this time he definitely had me on my toes, as you say. Um, I was a bit. I mean, the qualifying first of all, like my controller disconnected when I started. So like, that had me fumbling to try and like reconnect it and everything, and I feel like it kind of affected my laps, but you know, it worked out in the end. And the race, like, I was complaining about it before the race. My eyes are like hella dry right now. I don't know why. And so like throughout the whole race, I'm having to like blink every second. I can't see the screen, because you know I'm constantly blinking. So I felt like that kind of slowed me down a bit. But definitely, I feel like yeah, if JT had practiced a bit more, I feel like he would have beat me. Honestly, you know, it's just how it is. I mean, yeah, I guess I was just fortunate to have him not practice that hard. But it was definitely fun. I think it brought back the memories from season 18 where you get like you have like this kind of pace battle and you just yeah you're just getting chased and like I think as well I was a bit complacent. I thought like it'd be like the last two races where he wouldn't be that close, but yeah, he was a lot closer, and that kind of had me like actually feel the pressure for once. And I think that was yeah, it kind of messed me up a bit, but it was definitely an exciting one. Um, yeah, this is probably the most enjoyable out of the three. Yeah, I was just happy about the win and the pole too.
Yes, I
That's it.
think from the outside we just see two cars racing alone, but yeah, I guess on your perspective it is a much more, it's a lot more stressful experience. I've been there as well, so yeah, it is really like you're just about to have like a heart attack and all of that. But yeah, that's it then for the interviews today. Next round will be the finale in Monaco. We already got the Gyros title decided, but we still have potentially the constructors within LSA and SCP. Even though things might just look in favor of LSA once again, but we will see about that. And that's it then. So we'll see you there until the next time. Goodbye.